Okay, so operator needs to flush a water main. So the main is 15 inches in diameter, is 800 feet long, and I have two different goals here. So when you're flushing mains, a lot of times we'll be able to do it with the fire hydrant, and you attach a flow meter to the fire hydrant to make sure that you're getting the right amount of flow, or sometimes they just open up the meter and let her rip. So you can, but you need to have enough time in order to get, you know, a certain amount of flushing to actually occur out of that line. And you can estimate it two ways. Okay, so we can do let's do the hydraulic retention time first. So hydraulic retention time, because 2 volumes of water is what we want to get rid of. You know, how long do we need to flush the line to get 2 volumes of water? So that's the first question. So we have to find the volume of this thing. Okay, so the volume, because we keep dealing with these cylindrical shapes, is going to be the same formula, 0.785 times the diameter squared times the height. Now we have a little wrinkle though, because we have a dimension up here that is not the same, right? We've got 15 inch and 800 feet, and those things don't go together. Okay, so we're going to turn inches into feet first. So I'll just do that down here at the bottom. So I've got my 15 inches. "12 inches in 1 foot. So it gives me a diameter of 1.25 feet. Okay, so we'll put that back in. (0.785). Here's my 1.5 feet. Times 1.5 feet. And now we need the length of the pipe, which is 800 feet. Okay, so volume is going to be 0.785 times 1.5 times 1.5. So I've got 1413. But again, this is in cubic feet, and we know that we need to have the volume in gallons. So we'll go down here and we'll do another little conversion. So I got 1413 cubic feet. For every 1 cubic foot, 7.48 gallons. So we got 10,569 and a quarter gallon. Oh, that should be a 4. Let me fix that with the eraser. Now it's a 4. Okay, so we're going to find the hydraulic retention time first. So time is the volume divided by the flow. And for this problem, we wanted 2 times the volume, so we're actually going to do our volume in here, 10,569.24 gallons. And we're going to multiply that by 2. I have no idea what the flow is yet, right? Because we got to find that also. All right, so we're going to have to come back to that. On the other side over here, now we're going to find velocity. Okay, so velocity is flow per area. So this is how we're going to find our flow to plug in over here to find out how long we need to run our pipe. So velocity they gave us, right? Check the box there. So now we need to just find area. Okay, so we'll go down here and find area. So the area is going to be 0.785 times the diameter squared. So the only difference between area and volume is whether or not we're multiplying by the length as well. So here's my 0.785. And we've already found the diameter in feet. We did that over here. So 1.25 feet. And again, I got a little bit of a messy pen, so let me try to fix that. Times my 1.25 feet again. Takes a lot of practice to write with the pad. Alright, so I got 1.25 times 1.25 times 0.785. So we've got 1.226. And it's actually 1.227, but 656, whatever, if you leave it in the calculator, it's a lot of decimals. Anyway, that's square feet. Okay, so I'm going to put in my velocity of 5 feet per second. That was given. Then I've got my flow. And then my area, I'm going to just round to 1.23 here. Square feet, call it good. Okay, so now we have to rearrange the equation just a little bit. So I've got this over here on the bottom, and I'd like to move it to the other side so I can get flow by itself. So since we're dividing, we're going to do the opposite, which is multiply. And because we did it to one side, we unbalanced the equation, so now we need to do it to the other side. Okay, these are going to cancel. And I end up with flow by itself. And we get 6.15. And the 6.15, this is feet squared times feet, so that's cubic feet per seconds goes underneath. So 6.15 cubic feet per second. I don't have a flow meter that reads out in CFS, so I'm going to convert that to gallons per minute. Yeah, because easier. Okay, so we'll just do a little track here. So I've got 6.15. Some of them do actually read out in CFS, but I need gallons per minute over on the other side anyway. Okay, so I need 6.15 cubic feet per second for every 1 cubic foot. We end up with 7.48 gallons. Boy, just really likes to make that connection on the top of the 4. Okay, so that piece is done. And then I've got seconds on the bottom. So there's 60 seconds in 1 minute. Okay, so time 7.48 times 60. And so I end up with 2760 GPM. Okay, so if I had a flow meter on the fire hydrant, that's what I would want it to read in order to get this velocity coming out of the pipe. So far, so good?
So far, so good.
Okay, then we're going to take our flow rate and we're going to put it back over here, 2760 GPM. And I've already got gallons here and gallons here, so when I do the math, I should just end up with minutes. And this is all multiplication and division, so we can do it just all together. So I get 10,569.2 times 2 because we want 2 volumes of the pipe flushed. And then we're going to divide that whole thing by 2760. And it looks like I actually only need to flush this line for about 8 minutes. How about that?